How has life changed in the recent times because of the pandemic and all of this, crisis that revolves around us?
Hasn't changed much in our industry. So we are one of the few industries which actually did well during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think people had a lot of time and they wanted to open a trading account or a demat account, never had the time. So during the pandemic, I think everybody and their friends and their drivers and their Malis, everybody has opened a trading account and are buying and selling stocks on an intraday basis now. So it was fairly hectic. I think the last 6 months, we saw a lot of new people come in. We probably opened over 1 million accounts in the last 5 months or 6 months. So it's not been how the pandemic has been for most industries. Our industry has done fairly well.
So did you forecast that this will happen in March and April, May, if I talk about? When it was starting?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, who knew anything about the pandemic, right?
That's true, but like at sometime back in the back of your head, did you have this that I'll have 1 million more people open their demat accounts in 5 months?
Not really, not at all. I mean, it's a very unpredictable world we live in today.
Yeah.
1 million people might have opened accounts in the last 6 months, but maybe only 100,000 people open in the next 6 months. It's so many moving parts and so many factors which determine what the retail audience of India does. If you have to think about it rationally, and let's assume once the moratorium ends and many companies which are listed and unlisted shut down, I think there will be a lot of chaos in the market, and all it takes is like a 20% crash to kill the trading activity of the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Whenever it crashes, then things will be slow for like a month or two, and then they slowly come back up again and stuff like that.
Indian majorities prefers investing in gold or in real estate. That has been the ideology. So, do you think it will shift over equities like it is over the lockdown? We saw that people are, talking more about investing in equities or, trading over options or investing in mutual funds. Do you think this penetration would advance even more in tier 2, tier 3 of our country?
Yeah, personally, I think so. I think equities are doing well, not just because of the returns that stock markets have seen, but how badly the other places where one can invest money are doing. Real estate, for all practical matters, has done nothing in the last 5 or 10 years. It's a very illiquid asset class, which is highly mispriced in India, because for us, even today, at the end of the day, it's a very cultural thing to own a home. I think a typical Indian middle-class household's mentality will be the boy or the girl is settled if they have a job, they have their own home, and the price of real estate is skewed because of these factors. At rental yields of 1.5%, which is generally what we're running it across the country, if I have to pay 100 rupees to buy a home, or I have to pay 1.5 rupees to rent the same home, it logically and mathematically always makes more sense to rent, especially if the underlying value of the home is not going up. I think the newer generation, the people in their 20s today, are definitely